Westminster at the moment we can oppose, but in local government where Labour is in the majority, we can choose. And the most important thing about our politics is the values that we bring and the type of choices that we make. And you know, when times are easy, it is quite, it's not so tough to take those decisions. The real character of a party, of a movement, is the choices you make when times are tough. And we're living in extremely tough times at the moment.
That's why in York we've committed ourselves to introducing the living wage, and we think that that's important.
Let's also recognise the councils that we've won back since we met here 2 years ago. We've won back Hull, York, Sheffield, Leeds, and most recently North East Lincolnshire. I think that deserves a round of applause as well. Labour running council.
I don't think anybody thinks that this is the moment where you can say Labour's had our breakthrough. Good results, but we've got a lot more work to do. It was only 2 years since we lost the general election, and it takes time to turn that around. And we all know on the doorstep that rebuilding trust is not something that you can do in a few weeks and a few months.
We have in Yorkshire, we have Mark Williamson already selected for West Yorkshire, we've Potter already selected for North Yorkshire, and then the 2 remaining areas still to select in the next few weeks. And we're going to need to be out there, backing our candidates and doing everything possible, because this is going to be a tough election. You've got the election being held in the middle of November, at a time when we know turnout is going to be hard.
Yeah, if it wasn't for the fact we had EU laws on things like the working time directive, minimum maternity standards, part-time workers' rights, those things would have disappeared by now at a 10 o'clock vote in the House of Commons. Because we know what the Tories would do, and don't bank on the Lib Dems, because every time we've had a vote in the European Parliament on workers' rights, Lib Dems, Nick Clegg, in the vanguard at the time, voted with the Tories on these issues.
And it seems we have a government that's proud of its record in strangling growth and creating unemployment. And when it comes to my brief, the energy brief, or the power brief as I like to call it, the truth is the government is doing little to either control prices, to create jobs, and to offer that energy security that whether you're a family or a business, you really rely on.
Now, in Doncaster, we usually have a huge argument with Bradford, where the Labour Party was actually born, because there's a rumour that it was born in Bradford, which is actually totally untrue. It was in fact born in Doncaster, because that's where the first resolution was sent to the TUC to form a political wing of the trade union movement. So absolutely nothing to do with Bradford. Huge cheers, please, from Doncaster, New Zealand. But we are prepared to concede that the first meeting of the Yorkshire Labour Council, if that's what it was called at the time, was in fact in Bradford.
It's been great today hearing so many speakers at the 70th anniversary conference for Labour in Yorkshire and Humber. I enjoyed being on a panel this morning, answering people's questions about what Labour is doing in local government, making a difference for local people, and that's what we're here for in Yorkshire and Humber. So here's to the next 70 years of the Labour Party in the region.